Hello everybody, it's Emery48 here and welcome back to another Whovian Wednesday. Today we are going into Season 3 of the original series, and this is missing so many episodes. Somehow we got a really good ratio out of the first two seasons, and this one we really don't. We're missing the first 14 episodes, and it's really hard to judge a season when you're missing essentially the first half of a season, a little bit less than the first half, but we end last season with Vicky and Steven, and by the time I get to watch an episode, Vicky's gone, so she disappears in one of these episodes. Episodes 1 through 14, we have the Galaxy 4 arc with 400 Dawns. Episode 2 is Trap of Steel. Episode 3, Airlock. And Episode 4, The Exploding Planet. Episode 5 begins the mission to the unknown, where we have the Daleks back. Episode 6 through 10 are unnamed, but it is a Troy Greek arc, also with Daleks. Episode 11, The Daleks, Master Plan, Day of Armageddon. So we get a lot of Daleks in these missing episodes. Episodes 12 and 13 are also unnamed, but also about the Daleks. Episode 14, Counter Plot, again about the Daleks. Episode 15, The Ark, The Steel Sky. This is our first one that we get to actually watch. There are people with eyes in the mouth. It's a jungle planet, it seems. Vicky has been swapped out for Dodo. The Mouth Man is a manoid, and humans are also living on what I thought was one planet, but is one ship. The group is picked up by humans. The humans and monoids are heading to a new planet as Earth is about to be destroyed, very far into Earth's future. Dodo has brought the common cold back to the people millions of years into the future after it's been eradicated for a very long time. The Doctor, Steven, and Dodo are then arrested. Episode 16, The Plague. A human dies to the cold, and Steven is also ill. The Doctor heals the cold, and they return to the TARDIS and leave, landing back on the same ship 700 years later, when the journey should be ending. Episode 17, The Return. The monoids are now ruling the humans. The Doctor and Dodo are sent to the monoid replacement planet of Refusis to test its livability. And the monoids have a bomb in a statue on the ship. The Refusians are invisible because of a solar flare accident in their past, but they can still impact matter. A monoid kills a human on Refusis, and a Refusian blow up the shuttle and the monoid, stranding the Doctor and Dodo. Episode 18, The Bomb. The rest of the monoids head to Refusis, and there is a monoid civil war. Some humans also arrive on Refusis, and the Refusians removes the bomb from the ship. Monoids have mostly wiped themselves out, and the Doctor and Dodo return to the ship and depart. The Doctor sneezes and goes invisible. Episodes 19 through 22 is missing, which explains the whole going invisible thing. And this is the Daleks' Master Plan, which is something that I thought was a previous episode name. The episode names are hard. They aren't reliable. And the ones that are missing. Escape Switch. And I don't have any names for episodes 20 through 22. Which is unfortunate because there's been a lot of Dalek episodes supposedly missing. Episode 23, The Gunfighters. A holiday for the Doctor. A classic Western, the Doctor goes to the dentist while Steven and Dodo explore, and the Doctor is mistaken for a gunslinger who's being hunted. Steven and Dodo are hostage. Episode 24, Don't Shoot the Pianist. The Doctor is arrested, and Steven is still hostage, but Dodo is safe. Episode 25, Johnny Ringo. The Doctor and Steven are safe, and Dodo is taken to another town with a gunslinger, although safe. Episode 26, The OK Corral. Quick draw duel to decide the fate of the town. The good guys win. The Doctor, Dodo, and Steven leave in the TARDIS and arrive in the future, according to the Doctor. Episodes 27 through 30 are missing. And episode 27 through 29 are kind of unnamed, but in the Savages arc. The Celestial Toy Maker arc is also missing, and is probably not just a one-episode thing, and probably later in the 30s. Conflicting evidence onto where that lies. Episode 31, The War Machines. Back in the 20th century London, Steven is no longer with them. AI supercomputer is built, starting to take control of human minds, including Dodo. Episode 32, The War Machines, Episode 2. These ones are not individually named. And even the title screen just says Episode 2. I don't know why they made that change halfway through a season, but they did. Doctor breaks up Dodo's mind control, and the mind-controlled humans have built a militant robot. Episode 33, The War Machines, Episode 3. Army has been called in. A patrol unit takes heavy losses in a brutal fight. Episode 34, The War Machines, Episode 4. The Doctor disables the machine. It is only one of the war machines built. The Doctor wipes out the supercomputer, ending hypnosis and war machines. Dodo decides to stay in London with her new friends. Polly and Ben accidentally in the TARDIS as the Doctor leaves. Now, according to BritBox, where I'm watching all this stuff, that was episode 34. According to Google, that was episode 45. So, the documentation on these old ones are not great. This season really didn't improve William Hartnell for me at all. I think he'll easily get past. The quality seems to be more consistent. It feels like they know what they're doing more now. Which, to be fair, is something that happens even in the modern Doctor Who. Getting used to a Doctor as the writers are with him more. And maybe even just the writers are more consistent at this point in the show. It's a hard season to judge. There's like 20 episodes missing out of like 35, 40. That's a big portion. So it's really hard to judge this season. Hopefully season 4 has a little bit more. And I believe season 4 we get the second Doctor. Although based on the thumbnails that I saw from BritBox, it looks like we don't have the regeneration, which is really disappointing. But we're not at season 4 yet. That was season 3 of Doctor Who. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank everybody so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.